All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of the And One Podcast. And before I start, I'd like to let you all know that I do write articles on Stadium Rant. I do have an Instagram for this podcast channel, and one, the number one underscore podcast. And I do have a Twitter, and one podcast 23. And we are back. A new season of the NBA. The 79th season of the NBA has begun. And as of this recording, last night, the Lakers beat the Timberwolves and the Boston Celtics. They destroyed the defending champions. Boston Celtics destroyed the New York Knicks. Watching both of these games, it was just, I was speechless. I did not expect Boston to be that good. 29 threes made in that game. So, yeah, they tied the NBA record for most threes made in a game by a single team. The New York Knicks look terrible. Their defense from time to time looked great, but Boston's three-point shooting was just too much, way too much for New York to handle. And the Lakers, although both teams, the Lakers and the Timberwolves during that game, they did shoot terrible. I mean, the Lakers actually just played like they had a chip on their shoulder. The Lakers played great defense. They were getting a lot of offensive rebounds. The Lakers, they played like they wanted to win. And they won that game. Bronny and LeBron James, first father-son duo in league history. Jordan fans, you can suck on it. I don't care what anybody says. That's reason number 534 as to why LeBron James is the GOAT. But anyways, new season, off-season, nice, very nice off-season. Pretty quiet off-season, honestly. Not much big moves as to like superstars moving places. We did have Paul George go to the Philadelphia 76ers, CP3 going to the Spurs. We had DeMar DeRozan going to the Sacramento Kings. We had the Josh Giddey and Alex Caruso trade, and Isaiah Hartenstein also going to OKC as well. OKC is going to be a deadly team this season. Before I even get to that, I'm going to keep talking about some offseason moves. The Denver Nuggets getting Westbrook, and very shocking in my opinion, the Dallas Mavericks getting Klay Thompson. I was not that was one thing I did not expect. Although there were so many rumors and trade talks and all of that stuff, that is Klay Thompson going to stay with OKC? I said OKC. Is he going to stay with Golden State? Is Klay Thompson going to leave? He eventually did leave, and reasoning because the California tax, which is reasonable, but I feel like there's a deeper meaning. I feel like it's because he just wasn't happy with how he was with Golden State anymore. So I think that was a reason. And late in the offseason, just before preseason even started, Julius Randle being traded for Karl Anthony Towns. Julius Randle is now part of the Timberwolves. Karl Anthony Towns are part of the Knicks. And I honestly don't know how these lineups are going to work. It's just, we just have to see. I mean, Julius Randle was starting, and Naz Reid was, I believe he was starting that game as well. I don't know how these lineups are really going to work out. So we just have to see. We'll have to see throughout the season what their permanent lineup is going to be. DeJounte Murray went to the Pelicans, so that'll be interesting to see. But that's enough of the off-season moves. I just want to talk about, before I talk about my season predictions and all of that, I just don't understand why, on the Knicks side, why let Hartenstein walk when you have a more injury-prone center in Mitchell Robinson. And Isaiah Hartenstein basically does the same thing that Mitchell Robinson does, but Hartenstein has more energy. Hartenstein is like that crowd pumper. He's that spark plug. So I don't know why you would let Hartenstein walk when you have Mitchell Robinson, who's always injured, who basically does the same exact thing as Hartenstein, but with less energy. So that was a bit confusing to me, in my opinion, at least. And I think Hartenstein is a cheaper player too. So there's that as well. But, maybe the Knicks do have something. After what I saw last night, I know it's only one game, but the Knicks have a lot of work to do. I think they just got to get I think they just got to get the chemistry up. I think they got to figure out how to play with each other. I don't know why Mikal Bridges changed his jump shot. That's baffling to me. Career 38% three-point shooter, and he couldn't make a shot. He couldn't make a three to save his life. And in preseason, he couldn't even make a three. He went 1 for 10 in one game. But enough about that. I want to give my season predictions. Who's going to make it to the playoffs? Who's going to make it to the finals? This is actually pretty difficult this season. Last season, it was not the best. I had the Lakers and the Miami Heat making it to the finals. We know how that went. Jimmy. It's okay though. It's okay. I want to give my season predictions. I'm gonna start off with the Western Conference. For the 15th seed, I have the Blazers. I don't think the Blazers are gonna do much. The Jazz 14th, same thing with the Blazers. The Warriors, I have them at 13th. Yes, I don't think Curry is gonna be able to carry the Warriors. I don't care what anybody says. He's not able to carry a team by himself. He's not LeBron. Number 12, I have the Clippers. The Clippers honestly might be even worse because Kawhi Leonard is injured, out indefinitely for I don't even know how long. So Clippers fans, you might want to start praying because if you have a bad season, that first round pick is going to OKC, and we already see how great OKC is. So continuing my season predictions, I have the Rockets 11th. I have the Spurs making the play-in tournament at just the 10th seed. Now, this is where it starts getting good because by this is when I believe that it's going to be basically a fight out of the play-in tournament. As we saw last season where the play-in teams had very similar records, and I have the Suns at the 9th seed. If I'm just being generous, honestly. I got the Kings at the 8th seed. The 7th seed, I have the Pelicans. The Grizzlies are 6th in my opinion. I have the Lakers being the 5th seed. If the Lakers could play like how they played last night, but shoot more efficiently, please. If they shoot more efficiently and played how they played last night with that tenacity, that great defense, the offensive rebounds, they'll be great. They will be a great team. I'm not going to say championship, but they will be a great team. The Mavericks are 4th in my opinion. I have the Nuggets being the 3rd seed, the Timberwolves being the 2nd seed, and the 1st seed, the number 1 seed, probably the best team in the league, the Oklahoma City Thunder. So those are my Western Conference predictions. For the East, I have the Pistons being 15th because it's the Detroit Pistons. The Wizards being 14th because it's the Wizards. The Hornets being 13th because it's the Hornets. These three teams are a no man's land. Especially the Hornets and the Wizards. I have the Nets number 12. I have the Raptors at 11th, and the same playing teams over and over and over again. 10th, the Bulls, and the Hawks number 9. I mean, it's the same game almost every year. The Bulls and the Hawks over and over and over again. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of disrespected Orlando and Cleveland. I got Orlando at 8 and Cleveland at 7. I have Miami at number 6. This is where it gets really good because, in my opinion, the Eastern Conference is super competitive, and this is where anybody has a chance to just make it into the playoffs or the play-in tournament. I have the Pacers at number 5. Hey, what I say about the Pacers last season? What I say? Unfortunately, they got swept by Boston. That should have been an easy series for them to win. But I said, keep your eyes on the Pacers. I'm going to say it again. Keep your eyes on the Pacers. They got dark horse. I'm just saying it right now. 76ers are number 4. Honestly, they might be worse because Mr. Joel Embiid does not want to play back-to-back games. And he's not playing tonight. Tonight. He's not playing tonight against the Milwaukee Bucks. Speaking of Milwaukee, well, actually, I have the Celtics at number 3. I have Milwaukee at number 2. And I have the Knicks at number 1. Unfortunately, I might switch the Bucks and the Celtics because during the offseason, Giannis admitted that him and Lillard did not work out together during the offseason. That's not good. Your two best players did not even work out together. That's not going to be good. We'll see how the season goes. Maybe Lillard reverts back to that Portland Trailblazers Lillard, and Giannis, well, he's Giannis. He's going to do Giannis things. So we'll see. Unfortunately, that team is very old and very expensive. So they can't really do much, honestly. I just want to quickly talk about OKC. OKC is going to be the best team in the league, as I said. They're going to be one of the best offensive teams, and they're going to be one of the best defensive teams. I'm calling it right now. Shea is a great defender. Lou Dort is a great defender. Alex Caruso is a great defender. J-Dub is a really good defender. Hartenstein is a really good defender. Chet Holmgren is a great defender. Every position that they have on that team not only can shoot the ball, but is a great defender, or at least a really, really good defender. OKC is going to be scary. Very, very scary. And in my opinion, I got OKC going to the finals and possibly winning it all. And I don't care what anybody says. Miami's going to the finals. This is our year. Miami, please. This is Miami's final chance at getting a championship. I was watching Starting Five, and one of Jimmy's final words, his closing statement, honestly, was, "I owe Miami a championship." And you're damn right you do. You've been here for how long? Since the 2019-2020 season? You got us to the finals in 2020. Thank you. You got us to the finals in 2023. Thank you. But I need a championship. I need 2 finals appearances, man. That's not enough. I need a championship. I need to see you lift up that trophy. Please, Jimmy Butler, please lift it up. I'm sick and tired of the whole Miami's the underdog story. I'm sick of that. I don't want no underdog story. I want Miami to have a good, great season, have a top seed in the Eastern Conference, to have home court advantage, because when Miami's at home, it's almost impossible to beat Miami. So when you have that home court advantage mixed with playoff Jimmy, that is going to be a great playoff series for Miami. Please, Jimmy Butler, lock in. Bam, lock in. Hame, lock in. Tyler Hero, lock in. Rozier, lock in. Khalil Ware, that was a great pickup. That was a great draft pick because we need a center. I've been saying this over and over and over again. Miami needs a center. Bam, yes, he's great, but he is 6'9". The era of small ball is gone. You can't use a small ball lineup anymore to try and win a championship. It's over. You need a big body center to get boards and to lock down the paint for you. That's just how it is, because you got guys like Embiid, you got guys like Jokic. You got those 2 big body centers able to grab 13 rebounds a game if they want to, and bam, 6'9". And I know. He's undersized. He can still get rebounds and all of that stuff. But when you have a taller center, it's going to be a bit easier for you to get boards. And I'm looking at it right now. I don't expect Khalil Ware to play, like to be a starter in the beginning of the season. I don't expect that. I expect him to become a starter by middle of the season, somewhere right there. I could see Rozier, Jaime Hawkins Jr., Butler, Bam, and Khalil Ware. Where Bam is playing power forward, Bam is going to be more on the perimeter, and you're going to have Khalil Ware backing up in the paint. And Bam is going to be more of a help defender instead of having Bam lock down the paint, and then if it's necessary for him to go up to the perimeter. Because now if that happens, the paint is wide open or it's going to be a mismatch. So I think having Khalil Ware, 7 foot, big body center in the paint, locking down the paint, is going to be so much easier. It's going to be much better for Miami's defense. I want to talk about the Sixers really quickly, actually. As I said earlier, Joel Embiid does not plan on playing back-to-back games for the rest of his career. That's soft. I get that he's injury prone, but not wanting to play back-to-back games because of your health, that is honestly stupid. You do realize that if you don't play back-to-back games, you're risking yourself any awards, right? Which means that you are risking that good money, all right? You miss back-to-back games. You miss enough back-to-back games that you're not getting that 65 game. You're not meeting that 65 game limit, meaning that you won't be able to make first team All-NBA. You won't be able to contend for MVP. You're not getting no payday. So that's on you. Again, I also want to say this, that before Embiid said this, before Paul George was injured, I had utmost hype that the Sixers could finally do it. The Sixers could finally make it to the conference finals. They have a great team. They have a possible finals team. Maybe not a championship, but at least making it to the finals. But as soon as Joel Embiid said, I don't plan on playing back-to-back games for the rest of my career, man, that's out the window. They ain't making it to the conference finals. They're getting booted out in the second round once again. And the sad thing is, they have a nice big 3. Seriously. You got Maxey, who's a great scorer. You have Embiid, Joel Embiid. And you have Paul George. Now Paul George doesn't have to worry about being the main guy. He doesn't have to worry about being the second guy. He's a third option, and he could be one of the best third options in the league, honestly. He could be more of a catch and shoot player because Paul George, for most of his career, if not all of his career, he was ball dominant. No, most of his career, because his time in OKC, he definitely wasn't ball dominant. He's been ball dominant in the Pacers. He was ball dominant while on the Clippers, basically. And now this is one of the first and only times where Paul George really doesn't have to worry about having the basketball in his hands almost every single possession. Paul George can just relax, sit down in the corner, and if he gets the ball, please don't hit the side of the backboard. But Paul George is going to be more of a catch and shoot guy. I could see him playing more of a Klay Thompson role, a prime Klay Thompson role where he actually makes his shots. Okay. But Embiid is going to be more in the paint, in the post. And you already know how Maxey's going to be. Tyrese Maxey is going to be Tyrese Maxey. He's going to be that all-star player that we knew he was going to be. So Sixers had a bright future until Joel Embiid ruined it with his whole no back-to-back games. Now, I do have award predictions. And before I get to that, I want to talk about my top 10 players coming into the league. I might even do top 20, actually. But starting off at number 1, I have Jokic. Number 2, Luka Doncic. Number 3, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Number 4, Giannis. Number 5, Jason Tatum. 6, I have Anthony Edwards. Number 7, Joel Embiid. Number 8, LeBron. Number 9, Curry. And number 10, Kevin Durant. I might as well continue with my top 20. 11, Anthony Davis. 12, Jalen Brunson. 13, Victor Wembanyama. 14, Jaylen Brown. 15, Ja Morant. Number 16, Tyrese Halliburton. Number 17, Donovan Mitchell. Number 18, Devin Booker. Number 19, DeMontis Sabonis. And number 20, Mr. Jimmy Butler. Now, I want to go to my award predictions. Now, Clutch Player of the Year, I don't think it's, I don't know, honestly. That's more of an award that you got to see when the season is going on, because said player can be clutch and then said player cannot be clutch. Said player can lead the league in fourth quarter points one moment, and then said player is not leading the league in fourth quarter points the next moment. Said player could be making the most shots with the last 30 seconds left in the game, and then somebody else is doing that. So that, in my opinion, that's more of an award where you really have to watch, compared to something like MVP, where you can watch who was playing last season and then see what was this guy doing last season and what can he do this season to get the award. So with that being said, Clutch Player of the Year, that's throughout the season. Coach of the Year, I have Tom Thibodeau, but damn, after what I saw last night, God, I mean, it's only one game, so we'll see. Knicks fans, don't crucify me, but we're going to beat you in the playoffs. Miami in 6. Sixth Man of the Year, I have Dante DiVincenzo. Speaking of Dante, he was part of that. Knicks trade. Yep, he's in Minnesota. I forgot to mention that. But yeah, Dante DiVincenzo is my pick for Sixth Man of the Year. Emmanuel Quickly is my pick for Most Improved. Or what's his name? Portizinski. I think that's his name. That's also a really good player for Golden State. But I have Quickly as Most Improved Player, because honestly, he was my pick for Sixth Man of the Year until he got traded to the Raptors. But now he's on the Raptors. He's on a young team. He is getting the ball. He's going to play great. He is going to play great. Unfortunately, the Raptors aren't going to be that good. But with that being said, I'm going to go to Rookie of the Year. My Rookie of the Year, it's a bit biased, but I have Khalil Ware. Yes, I have Khalil Ware. I think he's going to be great. He's going to be Rookie of the Year. Why do I say that? Well, watching what he did in Summer League, great defender. Well, I don't want to say great defender. He's a pretty good defender. He's getting boards. He's catching lobs. Streaky shooter. Very, very streaky shooter, but he'll get there. He's a rookie. So I think he's going to be the best rookie. I don't want to say he's going to be the best rookie out of this draft class, but I could see him being a top 10 rookie of this draft class. But as of looking how the rookies are, I think Khalil Ware is going to be the best so far. But Defensive Player of the Year, Mr. Victor Wembanyama is winning Defensive Player of the Year. I think we can all agree that Rudy Gobert is not winning Defensive Player of the Year ever again. Mr. Wembanyama This man averaged almost 4 blocks a game last season and did not win Defensive Player of the Year. He's got a chip on his shoulder. That man said Gobert could win it, but next time it's going to be my turn. And I like to hear that. It's your turn. Wemby, go block some shots. Go get them stocks, bro. Get them steals, get them blocks. Lift up the Spurs defense like you did last season. And MVP, I got Luka Doncic because, I mean, it's Luka Doncic. What else is there to be said? Arguably been the best point guard in the league since maybe his second or third season. So, yeah, I think this is Luka's year to win MVP finally. If not, it's going to Shea. But I'm going to say Jalen Brunson is a dark horse for MVP. Last season, my dark horse was Tyrese Halliburton because he was really hooping. Again, watch out for the Pacers. But my dark horse this season for MVP is going to be Jalen Brunson. Maybe even Jimmy Butler. Who knows? But that's it. That's the episode for today. Pretty short episode today. I just wanted to give my award predictions, my season predictions, my standings, my finals predictions. OKC and Miami. Yes, that's what it's going to be. Season just started. As of this recording, last night was the tip-off. We got a great basketball this week. For the entire season, we've got some really good basketball. So I believe that this season is going to be a really good season for a lot of teams, a lot of players. So with that being said, I'm out.